Cristiano Ronaldo breaks records again. Silva wants out. Liverpool reject Ikone demands. De Paul closes in on Atletico move, and a transfer roundup all coming up in the next few minutes. As I am your host, Matt Froelich. You are the One Footballers, and this is the Daily News. So first off, and Cristiano Ronaldo was at it again last night. And by at it, I mean breaking records of scoring goals, because of course he was. It's a European Championship. Portugal took home a 3-0 win on the opening day against Hungary, and the champions have started very well in their title defence. What it now means that Cristiano Ronaldo is the outright record goal scorer at European Championships with 11 goals. He was joint level on 9 with Michel Platini before the match, and of course 2 goals takes him to 11. On top of this, he has now not only appeared at the most European Championships with 5, every one since 2004, but he's also scored a goal at least at every single one. Records continue to tumble as Cristiano Ronaldo at the age of 36 continues to find the back of the net. Had he not done, and had Portugal not rallied late on to score all 3 goals, you would have probably thought that Hungary would have been delighted to get away with a point, and Peter Gulácsi would have had a massive hand in that, the goalkeeper pulling off some very good saves. But as always seems to be the case, the cream always rises, and Portugal take a brilliant 3 points in their first game ahead of the 2 toughest games, no disrespect to Hungary, against Germany on Saturday and then France next week. But of course, it wasn't just Cristiano Ronaldo doing the business for Portugal. They also had a very solid back line to help keep a clean sheet, and on top of all of this, Bruno Fernandes was at his creative best in that attacking midfield area. Portugal are just going to come at you from all sorts of angles, and you better be ready for it. As for the other game in the group between Germany and France, it was billed as a heavyweight match, and it didn't really disappoint. Despite the fact the only goal was an own goal, France could have had a few more if they weren't offside all the time. I'm starting to think that Kylian Mbappe is too fast for his own good. If they'd have won 3-0, this would have been an absolute nightmare for Germany. The fact they lost just 1-0 and they had a pretty good game doesn't exactly set alarm bells ringing just yet. The main alarm bells for me when watching Germany is the fact they look so blunt in attack. They brought Timo Werner on rather late in the game, and then Kevin Volland with just a few minutes to go. It's not really enough to have a few attacking midfielders in central attacking areas. Germany needed more than that, and honestly they lacked bite when it came to the final third. They had a few good chances, but none really were created that screamed a top goal scorer being able to finish them off in the box. As for France, they have so many attackers that Olivier Giroud stayed on the bench for the whole game. Of course, if you want to keep up to date with loads of Euro content, make sure you check out the OneFootball app and the VW OneHub. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can find all of those links in the description below. Right then, moving on and to Bernardo Silva, who reportedly wants out of Manchester City because, well, after 4 years, he's still not a guaranteed starter. He's a brilliant player. He's been fantastic for City in the last 4 years and helped the club to win 10 trophies in that time. They just haven't managed to win the Champions League. But when you're playing for Manchester City under Pep Guardiola, he likes a big squad, he likes to make changes, and most of all, Manchester City like buying new players. Imagine being Bernardo Silva and worrying about how much playing time you're going to get in the Manchester City squad, and then finding out that every single transfer window they're linked with like a million other attackers. Doesn't exactly help his cause. Apparently the Portuguese attacker wants a new challenge, and Atletico Madrid are one of the teams who are very interested in him, but they're going to be making a signing of their own within the upcoming days, and we'll get onto that in just a little bit. As for Bernardo Silva's competition at Manchester City, well, Phil Foden's coming through and he's unbelievable. Raheem Sterling looks like he'll be staying at the Etihad. They've also got Ferran Torres, and of course there's Riyad Mahrez. There's quite some competition to be had. Having said that, normally Manchester City go pretty far in all form competitions that they're in, so Bernardo Silva will get playing time. There's just no guarantee he's going to be in the starting 11 for all of the biggest games. On top of all of this, the central striking role is one that, well, all of them aren't going to be able to fight for should Manchester City go ahead and make a big name signing to replace Sergio Aguero. Next up then, and to Liverpool, and talking of big name signings, Jonathan Ikone could have been a huge signing this summer for Liverpool if he didn't have such crazy wage demands. According to reports, he wants £150,000 per week. This would be more than Sadio Mane, and he's pretty much coming in to be the backup to Sadio Mane. I don't think Liverpool are going to sell or replace either of the front three in Salah, Mane and Firmino. If they were, I feel like they'd bring in a striker to replace Bobby Firmino. Not replace him, but just more add more of a goal threat to the team. It seems like Origi and Shaqiri's time at Anfield has expired, and well, as backups, they're going to need other players alongside the likes of Diogo Jota, and Ikone fits the bill. But not when you're paying 40 million to Lille. By the way, he had a good season. 7 goals, 7 assists. He helped Lille to win that shock Liga title. But 40 million plus 150k a week, it doesn't really fit in with Liverpool's wage structure. So apparently they've turned around and told him a firm no. Elsewhere though, and if they are going to sign a backup attacker, it looks like Patson Daka from RB Leipzig is very, very keen to join Liverpool. So maybe they should look there instead. Moving on and to Rodrigo De Paul, and we mentioned Atletico Madrid making a signing earlier, and it looks like the Udinese midfielder will be heading back to La Liga. He spent a couple of seasons with Valencia a few years ago, but it looks like now the Argentinian connection with manager Diego Simeone will see him join Atletico ahead of the likes of Leeds, Liverpool, and even yesterday I mentioned Barcelona. This is because it looks like Saul may be reaching the end of his time with the club. It's difficult to think of an Atletico Madrid midfield in the last few years that doesn't contain one of Koke or Saul, but now, especially with the emergence of Marcos Llorente, it looks like Saul's going to leave for pastures new. This does leave me the question that if Llorente is so good and Koke is so brilliant that Saul can't get into the team, what hope is there for Rodrigo De Paul? Maybe a new challenge is needed. They just want some fresh players in the squad to go again next season after a brilliant La Liga triumph this year. Of course, like with many other teams at the top of the game, they're going to need a big squad if they want to go far in La Liga, Champions League and the Copa del Rey as well. The deal is reported to be around 35 million euros, which, when you consider how well De Paul's been playing and a player of his quality in such a good age category, well, it seems like it's a very good deal. Next up then, and finally, a quick roundup of the rest of the day's transfer news that you might have missed. And Albert Sambi Lokonga is the Anderlecht midfielder who Arsenal have bid for, although the Belgian club have rejected the opening offer of £13.5 million. Aston Villa are interested in bringing back their former player Ashley Young after he left Inter Milan on a free transfer. Brighton are apparently close to agreeing a deal with Stuttgart for Argentinian winger Nicolas Gonzalez. And lastly but not least, Rui Patricio, the Portuguese goalkeeper at Wolves, has agreed terms to join Jose Mourinho at Roma. So there you have it. That is all from me for today. Make sure you check out everything else we've got going on by clicking here and here on screen. And until next time, I will see you guys later.